Hello, real deal. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody doing all right. I'm gonna bring your attention to um, the media where I've been talking about Chicago. Chicago resident is filing a temporary restraining order to stop the use of a Munson Park for immigrants shelter. What they're doing in the government doing in Chicago is they are bringing in migrants and letting them take over what was built for their community so they could live in the park. Now Biden know he could have done better than that. Just sent them over here and then they don't have nowhere to go. People here just do have some place to go. Nearby residents have filed a temporary restraining order to hide the use of Amundsen Park as a migrant shelter, citing the importance of the location to the community. NBC Chicago, Christine and Mark reports on this. Listen to this.
Frustration and confusion in one Chicago community tonight. They say a plan to move migrants into a local park would disrupt their neighborhood and the park that they rely on. NBC5's Christian Farr spoke to people there today.
I want you to know that we are still fighting.
Austin residents have now filed a temporary restraining order against the city to stop any use of the Amundsen Fieldhouse as a migrant shelter.
Austin has the highest crime rate. We deserve better, and we will say no.
That's even though the city has backed off plans to use the Park District building for that purpose. Attorney Deidre Bauman filed the injunction on behalf of some Austin residents who say the park and fieldhouse are for the community.
There are hundreds of kids attending basketball camp, football, in various classes. Elderly depend on this park.
Residents say they had already started to file for an injunction before the city considered a nearby alternative site in Austin to house migrants. City officials say they are reviewing the complaint but had no other comment. Residents became concerned this morning when someone delivered portable restrooms to the park.
It seemed like they're going on with their plan anyway, unless it's a lack of communication.
Instead of using the Amundsen Fieldhouse, the city is considering using a privately owned building at 1900 North Austin as a migrant shelter. 29th Ward Alderman Chris Taliaferro says this option could keep residents from being locked out of the fieldhouse.
Of course, there's going to still be residents that are opposed to it, but it is better than closing a resource in a divested community.
The attorney representing those residents says that she is waiting for a judge to make a decision on how they will proceed with the injunction request.
Okay, judge grant temporary. So good news about the outcome. Y'all know I like to give y'all the pros and the cons. Okay, judge grants temporary restraining order on Candlewood to prevent hotels from accepting migrants from the New York City. Yes, they stopped it in New York City, y'all. So Chicago doing the same thing. And ongoing better to keep immigrants out of the, migrants out of the town. Salina, a judge on Tuesday granted temporary restraining order. Now, see, now they know this. They know it's wrong. Just bringing in people and just throwing them anywhere, in any part of the city you want to throw them in. That's not right. Let's see what else can I get for y'all today, because I'm just waking up from my medicine.
Outside of Amundsen Park, Christian Farr, NBC5 News.
Okay.
and a community migrant shelter locations. One is at 30 North Racine in the Loop, the other at 939 West Lake in Fulton Market. NBC5's Courtney Six tonight with concerns from West Loop residents on why their neighborhood has the most migrant shelters in the city.
Nearly 4,000 migrants are waiting for placement in Chicago shelters, and some of them will now go to 2 new shelters in the West Loop.
I don't know what all I can do about it, but at the same time, we need to try to make this thing work.
One is an empty office building off of Racine and Washington Avenue. The other already opened Tuesday on Lake Street in Sangamon in the heart of the West Loop.
In our neighborhood, so far, everybody has been sort of very welcoming. You do have people who are concerned.
27th Ward Alderman Walter Burnett heard from those residents Wednesday night, many saying they're concerned about the sheer volume of shelters coming to this neighborhood. There are currently 25 active shelters citywide, spread across just 38% of the city's wards, but the 27th Ward has the most.
Look at some of the large neighborhoods from the South Loop, the Loop, Lincoln Park, Streeterville, River North. They have one or maybe two combined with all those neighborhoods. We have 5. Is there a cap? Is there anything we can do to slow that number down?
But city leaders say this area in particular has many buildings newly renovated and turnkey ready, and landlords want their properties rented.
I don't know that we can commit to capping it.
I would also talk with your friends. I would talk with other alders that don't have shelters in their ward to see what can be offered so that we can, again, share the responsibility.
Others expressed their support of West Loop shelters.
We live in a incredibly booming, prosperous part of the city. The least that we can do is be generous with our space.
They are still determining when that second location on Racine Avenue will open, but families with children will go to that shelter.
I hope everything work out all right, but it's sad to see that something like this going on, y'all. But if you're gonna, don't everybody want the migrants to come, okay? But come on, you should have already have shelters in place for them. You know what I mean? When they come to your states, have apartments building ready, have a building ready. You can't just move somebody in and then they ain't got nowhere to go. All right, y'all tell me what y'all think. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm out of here.